Good morning. Yeah, Thursday. How are you?
I'm fine.
You alright?
I'm 100%.
Yes. You're all excited about today, aren't you? Bottles.
Oh, yeah.
That's not why you're excited.
I don't know. Am I excited?
I don't know if it's hard to tell with you these days. Gone were the days I used to be able to tell when we were young and in love.
I know. Anywho.
Meanwhile, back in the farm, Japanese. If you're saying it, if you were in French, did you know I spoke French?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay. If you're in French France, they say Japonais.
There you go.
We'll call them Japanese.
Yes.
We've got a selection. It's every month, and there's a few different ones in this month as well. I know that you've the old reliables and all that sort of stuff. But wanted to put a few of them up, a few different ones. So we'll start up on this shelf here. Looks like a bloody beer bottle. Screw cap.
Happy days.
I mean, I know the Japanese were all about, cost saving, but lads,
it looks cool, but
bit of a Japanese bottle. 10-year-old single malt whiskey. The problem with, and I'll start off maybe with this premise before we jump into these. Japanese whiskey has a bit of a checkered recent past, or not even recent, just past, full stop. The problem with Japanese whiskey, it might say Japanese whiskey on the label, but that mightn't be what's in it. And I laughed at Michael Cowman on his 1.5 minute videos that he done there recently. He was sort of having a dig at that and alluding to, not all Japanese whiskey is Japanese whiskey. What did he say? We're talking about you, Mr. Nika from Glen Nevis or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was funny at the time. It was a bit of humour that Michael got. He doesn't really do humour that much.
he thinks he's
But
funny.
he thinks he's funny in his own head. So do I. I think I'm a comedian in my own head.
I know you do.
But it is genuine. A complaint with Japanese whiskey is that it could be anything in the bottle. It could be Irish. It could be American. It could be Scotch. I mean, we recently had the experience where Beam Suntory bought the Cooley Distillery, and a lot of the stock there could have been gone out to Japan to be included in blends that they do. They were very good at doing things called teaspooning, so there'd be a sort of literally a teaspoon of something in it to give it an age profile or to give it a thing. Now, saying that, I love some Japanese whiskey. I mean, Hibiki is probably one of my favourite whiskies.
Yes, it is.
Not favourite, but it's up there. I mean, I've drank rather a lot of it.
Yes, you
and you keep telling me, I'm doing it for you, baby, because you like the pretty bottles.
I do like the pretty bottles, but you're not doing it for me, mate.
So I'll drink myself into oblivion so you can have pretty bottles. Yes. I'll do that for you.
He's such a good husband.
I am. We don't rarely get in Irish. I mean, I've only ever sold one of the big ones, the Emerald Geisha. Back in our early days, we sold one of them. We don't get any of the
big ticket ones.
I mean, they've gone recently. They've gone on another level. One of them sold for £800,000 and by Bonhams and all that sort of stuff. So, but we're not there yet. But if anybody wants to pay me £800,000 for any of these bottles in this month's auction, I'll deliver it myself, and I'll even smile. But what made me think of the Emerald Geisha was the labels, and I mean some of the labels for Japanese stuff is very, very good. So that's the Kurayoshi pure malt whiskey. Even the word pure malt is actually a thing that stopped being used in Scotch and is now everywhere in Japanese. Not everywhere, but it's in a lot of places in Japanese as well. So that's one lovely, pretty label of the lady. Is she a geisha lady? What's the definition of a geisha?
Is it geisha or geisha?
Her as well. Yes, absolutely, Katie. I thought we'd put these up because I know you like cute little things.
I do. The bottles are lovely.
That's a little bit of the old Suntory label. Now, the red has gone off it, so it's an Untory Hisky. That's... Wasn't that funny, love? Settle down. And genuine...
Tell poor Sinead that. She's trying not to...
What about the genuine quality? It's called genuine oality. That actually could be closer to the truth. This old Suntory, look at that, Kitty. Look, with the wee glassy plasticky thing in the bottle. Isn't it cute? Isn't it pretty? That's in the auction as well. Blend of Nika malt. Sinead, get in close on that. That's a gorgeous decanter. 17-year-old. There's a bit of ullage on that, so a bit of loss out through the cap. The seal's intact, hasn't been broken. It's just a bit of evaporation that has happened over time. Occurred. In a pretty little wooden box. I lifted this off the shelf. I thought you might like this. Look at this with the wee padlock and everything. Beam Suntory Rare Collection. Look at that.
That's cute too.
And the cheapy, nasty, Chinesey lock on the thing of it as well.
Listen.
Isn't it lovely?
Let me see.
I wonder did they get discounts if they're buying in Japan Chinese stuff? Because they don't have to ship it too far.
Oh, that's good.
And it's got keys and everything else. Isn't it pretty? Actually, it's not that cheapy. I mean, it's fairly heavy.
Oh, that's cute.
And a little cheetah bottle, 43%, 20 cl, with a little story and the keys and everything there. It's a pretty little thing.
Oh, that's cute.
It is a pretty little thing. I just thought that it was a bit nice.
It's pointless because every time I put my eye on something in the auction, somebody always outbids me. So I'm not going to bother.
You tell me, baby. Leave. No. Stop bidding against Katie.
But they don't know it's me. So.
Oh yeah. Just bid. Niall called this the turtle bottle when I was looking for Japanese stuff, and he said, "Did you see the turtle bottle?" And I went, "The what?" The turtle bottle. It's a bottle of Suntory, and obviously with the turtle shells on it.
That's
so
cool.
It's a bit pretty as well. Another Suntory. There's that one which I haven't a breeze what that is. Again, they're doing mad. Oh, that's not a Suntory. That's the greeting with the dimple effect on the side. Hibiki, which I did mention, the Hibiki 17 there. The age statement Hibikis are. Yeah. But even these ones now, the regular ones, so the Blossom Harmony, and I think there's a Master Select there as well. I've loads of empty. If anybody would like an empty bottle, they can buy it off me.
God, you're very generous.
I am, yeah, to a fault.
Oh.
That's bottled in 2021. I thought, and me and Niall just had this conversation, I thought the old Blossom Harmony ones had the blossoms around the bottle. Or maybe that's the special edition ones that were done. But
it was, yeah, because it's in the fancy box.
Oh, it is. You're right.
See?
I bow to your expertise and knowledge. Blossom Harmony. Again, look, Hibiki is a cracking whiskey. Yamazakura, 16-year-old blended whiskey, 40%. Another one would put the Japanese blossom on the front. Just makes it look pretty. Underneath you have from the Nika stable. So Nika is like what our Middleton is.
Yes.
Nika is a behemoth in Japan, and it has many different distilleries that produce whiskey for it. So you have the Yoichi distillery, the Mayakayohata.
You can't say that one.
I can't say that one. But they're doing them now like sherry wood finish, bourbon wood finish, and apple brandy wood finish. They start getting top dollars. This Akashi. The reason I lifted that is because there's a story about the Akashi not even being remotely Japanese, but I can't remember it for the life of me.
You didn't Google before we done this, no?
I don't ever Google it before I done it.
I know, but you...
I can't remember. No, it wasn't. We were at a tasting or something like that for that. And I remember somebody telling me, I think it might have been Michael Fogarty telling me something like that. Again, Nika Tailored. That's another nice one. And this is part of that sort of same release of those ones from the Nika distillery. So you've got the Mickey Yagio. He's from Balladrine or somewhere like that.
I don't think it's Mickey Yagio. But we'll go with that.
Mickey Yagio and Paddy were in a pub in Balladrine drinking whiskey. And Yoichi. They are rum wood finishes and a lovely presentation as well. And which leads us to our final one. We were a bit disappointed, weren't we?
Yeah.
Because we liked them.
We do like the Samurais, but now I'm not so keen.
So any yous that don't know, this is the Golden Gold again from Nika, and they were called the Samurai, or what were the NGK01s? I remember the codes. And when we first started in this, and the old ones that were sort of coming through, but I don't think they were bottles that were sold to Ireland. I think they were bottles that people sourced elsewhere and brought in. I think these now could be bottles that are sold in Ireland through the distributor and that. And the problem is, he's plastic. They used to be metal. They were fabulous. They were really, really gorgeous quality and everything else. They've now gone plastic. And it just makes it
It takes away from it.
Does take away from
because,
it, in my
because
mind.
yes, they've tried to do the detail and everything with
Yeah.
the plastic, but there's something when in the metal it just looked so much
Yeah.
better.
right. Yeah,
Even
absolutely.
like there was ones coming and they were stained or they were
Metal was tarnished,
tarnished
itself.
and it still looked fab.
Angry looking dude.
But they are angry. Look, samurais don't have it.
I don't think all samurais are an angry looking dude. He looks like an angry looking dude. And I wonder, is he just a samurai?
Because he's plastic.
Is it because he's... Well, I suppose I'd be upset if I was plastic too. But even the horny thing is all plastic
Yeah, and
and
that
stuff.
was
It
lovely,
just, it
one
was
piece,
lovely,
that was-
yeah.
yeah,
It
it was
was
fab.
just the whole thing was... Look, it's still probably collectible. Is it as collectible as the old ones? No. It doesn't sort of sit with... And I get the feeling that Japanese whiskey has been sort of cashing in, I think is the right way to describe it, on the sort of the demand for it and the celebrity, that sort of the hype that's been around Japanese
probably.
whiskey. So a lot of the other stuff they've been sort of saying, get it out there, lads. There has been issues, I know, like the likes of the 30-year-old Hibiki and stuff like that. They were all discontinued because they just didn't have the stock. Now, they didn't have stock of what? Scotch whiskey, American whiskey, or what?
Doesn't matter. They didn't have the
They
stock.
didn't have the stock. Some of it is genuine Japanese whiskey. Others of it is Japanese whiskey.
Yeah.
So that's it. I think that's not bad for Japanese whiskey. Tomorrow
There
is
probably
Go
is
Day.
more in there.
There is more in there. We've come across. Niall was pointing out bottles to me, and I was sort of going, "Ah, yeah, dead on." So actually,
And
Niall,
the less bottles we have, the less ranting he does.
I don't rant.
No.
We've the room nearly. I think it's nearly finished. Actually, they've been going through it and making sure everything's in order and all that sort of stuff. Tweaking a few photos, get everything right. But I think we're in good nick, aren't we?
We are.
We are. Tomorrow is Go Day, as I said. We are going live at 5, live at 5. Tomorrow on Friday. Tomorrow there's a few oddball Irish bottles I want to talk about, and charity, obviously.
Yes.
We have some nice charity items in this month, and then talking about the big charity thing that we're doing
Yes.
as well. So we shall be talking to you tomorrow, which is Friday.
Friday.
That's great. I know my days of the week.
Bank holiday weekend.
I can't believe they get time off. I mean, seriously, they should pay me for the privilege of being in my company for this stuff. But anyhow, apparently they're entitled to days off. I don't know what that's about. Right.
Okay.
We'll talk to you. Bye.